Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, 5-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight, we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Ivan Thomas. A little bit about him. Ivan Thomas is a highly successful public relations executive, entrepreneur, and entertainment reporter who has committed his career to educating and empowering entrepreneurs, aspiring business owners, and everyday people. As the president and CEO of Intern Media Group based in Atlanta, Georgia, he provides PR and marketing services to clients in the arts, culture, lifestyle, and entertainment industry. A highly sought-after celebrity publicist, Ivan has represented some of the nation's most powerful brands and has helped numerous nonprofit organizations, small businesses, corporations, and individuals to generate public awareness of their work through publicity, social media, powerful collaborations, and events. On his list of past and present clients are Nielsen Cancer Treatment Centers, celebrity credit guru James Hunt, actor Darren Henderson, actress Terry Vaughn, singer Elijah Connor, rapper Waka Flocka Flame, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Bravo TV star Brooklyn Tankard, and many more. As an entrepreneur, Ivan recognizes the challenges that arise when starting a new business and the doubt that discourages many professionals from going into business for themselves. Therefore, he coaches people on ways to develop confidence, overcome adversity, market their businesses, and ultimately set themselves apart from their competitors. Additionally, he shares valuable insight with audiences on how to develop a mindset for success, how to get the most out of networking experiences, and how they can turn their network into their net worth. Anyone in any area of life seeking to climb to the next level can benefit from Ivan's business secrets as he equips professionals with the recipes for a long and prosperous career. For more than a decade, Ivan has utilized his expertise to provide high-quality counsel and support to a wide range of clients, covering the full spectrum of PR from arts and entertainment to social justice, education, business, and healthcare. They call on him to add credibility to their brands and to bring them to the forefront of national conversations. Over the years, he has secured media coverage in notable news sources such as CNN, Forbes, the Associated Press, Chicago Tribune, Washington Post, Black Enterprise, Ebony, Essence, and many more. Welcome to the table, the amazing Ivan Thomas.
Hello, hello, hello. Glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
You are welcome. Glad to have you at the table. So, Ivan, will you please share with our listeners more about your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've been in the PR industry for about 13 years. I started actually in the last year of my college education at Howard University in Washington, D.C. Actually, my father, who was a longtime journalist, actually started a PR company when I was still at Howard University. And, I would assist him in kind of growing the company and, working primarily doing a lot of the writing, doing a lot of the media relations to secure news coverage for clients, things of that nature, handling a lot of the communications tasks. And, that's where I got exposed to it. That's when I initially had the opportunity to get my feet wet in the industry. I also did a couple internships, worked with a marketing agency, and really just learned some best practices. So I ended up going back to work with my dad after working with another company out of Washington, D.C. called GMMB. Worked with my dad for about 6 years, and, it was a great experience. I learned a lot about the industry. Primarily, we worked in social justice, healthcare, higher education, but my passion was working in arts, culture, lifestyle, and entertainment. So actually in 2014, I went ahead and I started my own company, Intrigue Media Group, that focused on just that, arts, culture, lifestyle, and entertainment. And it's been a great journey. I've worked with a lot of individuals, including some of the ones that you listed during the intro, but really my focus is just helping people to elevate their brands and to accomplish their goals.
I love it. And you are a celebrity publicist, and you're a highly sought after. And we have named some amazing people that you have worked with. So what are some strategies what is some advice you would give to listeners who aspire to be a celebrity publicist? What does it take to get to that level?
One, you have to enjoy connecting with people. It's really one of those industries where, you have to get out there and network and connect and build relationships. You're only as powerful in this industry as the relationships that you have. So having a strong network is extremely, extremely important. Then again, studying, understanding, the way the media works and the media cycles, understanding how to pitch certain stories. And then, of course, in PR, you work with different professionals in a variety of different industries. So as I mentioned, I've worked in education, I've worked in healthcare, I've worked in entertainment. So when you have clients or you're interested in garnering clients in those areas, it behooves you to, be abreast of the current events and the trends that are taking place in those respective industries so that you can be an expert, a subject matter expert in those industries where your clients can come to you for advice and guidance. Because it's our responsibility to lend some creativity, and some vision, and also some strategy to help our clients to get to the next level. So definitely studying, having a student mentality, building valuable relationships, brushing up on your writing and your communication skills, all of that is key.
For our listeners that are listening, building those relationships is key in being a student. Thank you for sharing those nuggets, Ivan, with our listeners. But what is some advice you would give to that listener that's new in the media industry? Because I know you've been in the industry 13 years, and I'm sure things have constantly changed, right? So I'm sure you have to switch it up a lot to stay in the breast with what's going on. So what would you give to that new person that's just walking into this?
Yeah, just study. There's Google is free. So I think the key is if you want to get into the industry, read up on public relations so that you understand what the industry is all about and what your role would be in the industry. So, you can study, different successful publicists who are currently doing a great job in the field. Do some research on the types of clients that you would like to work with. And I think that when you do that, that kind of equips you with, that gives you the opportunity to kind of see where, your knowledge base is, assess what you're interested in, and, also, you just got to get your feet wet and get out there. This is one of those industries where, you can read all day, you can study all day, but the best thing to do is just throw yourself into the fire and start communicating, start connecting, start working with people. I'd even recommend maybe, just shadowing somebody or, just reaching out to somebody that you can assist, where you can learn about the industry, maybe get out in the field with them and see how they do things. Those are some ways that you can, learn about it if you're new to it.
Awesome. So what is, because I know you were just talking about getting their feet wet if they're new in the industry. Right. What are your views on maybe working for free? Because they might have to do that in order to continue to grow to get certain levels when they're first starting out.
Absolutely. When I first started my company, there were people that I worked with for free. There were people that I worked with for practically nothing. And, while it was a very stressful period, when I was doing that, that's what really shaped me into the professional that I am now, because it forced me to get out there and to connect and to build relationships. And by me producing work for those clients that I was working with for free, what that did was attract paying clients. So I think that, sometimes you just have to get out there. If I really want to work on a project, there's times where, I still might work with someone in the system for free. So I think, and sometimes that experience and what you get out of it, the relationships that you generate from it, actually can outweigh the money. And I think that if you do a great job and if you're doing what you're passionate about, the money will eventually come.
I love that, because that's so important that we serve, right? We serve, be a servant leader, and understand that it does. Those relationships do outweigh the money most of the time. So for our listeners that are listening, don't be, afraid to work for free, to get where you got to go. So what would you say some of the pros and cons of a celebrity publicist would be?
The cons is, I mean, I am an entrepreneur who owns my own company, but being a celebrity publicist, I mean, you're pretty much, and you work entrepreneur hours. It's not a 9 to 5 type of career. So you're going to have times where your client might call you with a crisis at 10, 11 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. You work long hours. You have to be flexible. And you never really know what each day is going to bring. This isn't a job where you know what tomorrow is going to bring. You can be working on something completely different tomorrow than you were today. So I think that, for some people, that can be, very difficult. So that's what, I would consider a possible con, is just the fact that, the hours are just floating. And sometimes it's difficult to feel like you have control over your life because, you're really just, catering to the needs of the client. And lots of times there's always work to do, so you're never really done. So those are what I would say are the cons. Did you ask me what the pros were, or am I getting ahead of you?
Yes, the pros and the cons. Yes, the pros.
Yeah, the pros are that, you get to meet so many people from all walks of life, different industries. So, I just love it. Like I mentioned, I've worked with college presidents. I've worked with, superintendents and principals. I've worked with empowerment speakers, actors and actresses, athletes, music artists. So really, I've just had the opportunity to meet so many great people, so many business leaders. I've worked with so many great organizations. I've had the opportunity to travel all across this country and abroad. So those are some of the pros. And then, it's something that I love to do. So, every day I'm just, operating in the space that I really enjoy.
It seems like it's an exciting, exciting profession to be in, right? It's always something. It's never.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very fast-paced. So you have to have thick skin. You have to, be a person who, knows how to communicate. And, you've got to just be able to get up and, run and move with the ebbs and flows of the business. But, it's a very rewarding business. So another one of the pros is I feel like in PR, you're so accustomed to catering to your clients and making things happen, which that's transferred over to your own life. So, when you're able to, make things happen and garner relationships and connect the dots for different individuals, you're eventually able to do it for yourself, and it actually makes life easier,
Yes, I love that. And now let's talk more about your entrepreneurship side. So, do you coach people on ways to develop confidence and overcome adversity and market their businesses to set them apart from their competitors? Could you talk to us more about that, about your coaching services?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So what I find is, a lot of people have brilliant ideas. A lot of people are gifted in certain areas, very talented, but one of the things that holds clients back is, their lack of confidence. And I know that for a fact because it was something that I experienced. You mentioned were there times that I worked for free. Well, when I first started my business, I was working for practically nothing. And, and of course that has changed, but you have to overcome various mental barriers in order to make it to the next level. So, some people are afraid to demand more from their clients. Some people are afraid to really assert themselves as that expert, that they're meant, and that leader that they are meant to be. So, really what I do is coach them through that, show them how to be more confident, and just kind of make sure that they acquire the skills and the knowledge to lead. And I think that once you become a leader and you can lead other people to success, that helps you to become more successful. You're only a leader if you can help other people to become successful.
Yes.
So that's what I try to train people to do.
Yes, and then you speak about how to turn, their network into their net worth. Can you talk to us more about some strategies on how to, when listeners go out and they network, how to turn those networking experiences into, currency, basically, relationship currency?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, networking is a skill. I think a lot of people, they waste a lot of time because they don't know how to effectively network. So I think that the key, what I always recommend people do when they're looking to grow their network, when they're looking to meet new people, again, study, do your research. If you know that you're attending an event, there's times when you can beforehand kind of see who is going to be attending the event so that you know who exactly you want to connect with. You're not just randomly walking up to people. You can study and say, hey, this individual with this company is somebody that I want to talk to. So then you can kind of, focus on, what your approach is going to be, how that conversation might flow. What are some questions that you want to ask? What is the type of value that you can bring to that individual, and how do you think that it can be a mutually beneficial situation? So, that taking that approach to networking is extremely important. And I think that, that allows you to have more educated conversations. So if you're looking to grow your business or bring in potential clients or establish strategic partnerships that can lead to more business, that's the way that you do it.
Yes, learning having that mindset of how can I bring more value to that person. That is so key when doing that.
Yeah, it's all about value.
Yes, another thing I would like to talk about is that follow-up part, right? Because a lot of people, some people go to
right.
the event, they meet them, but they don't follow up. So what are your views on that?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Absolutely. And I neglected to say that, but that's part of it. The follow-up is extremely important, and that's where people fall short. Really you only have about a 72-hour window for people to remember who you are, if you're at an event. So you definitely want to follow up as quickly as possible. Maybe see if you can grab some coffee or, meet for a lunch meeting and follow up and talk about why you think, a potential collaboration, would be beneficial. And, you should do that as quickly as possible when you leave an event so that they remember you and that it's fresh in your mind what the conversation was that you had.
And I'm glad that you spoke about collaboration, because a lot of people speak about collaboration, but a lot of people don't know how
right.
to effectively collaborate, because you're supposed to be walking away both people in abundance, right? So could you talk more
right.
about
A lot of people say they want to collaborate, and they don't really want to collaborate. They just want something out of the situation. So
right.
yeah.
Right.
So again, it's about value. Again, you can't be selfish in business. I think, and clearly, there's people, they're just focused on the dollar. They might seem like they're winning, at some point, but I think that, you can't have a selfish approach. It's all about bringing value to others, and as long as you can fill a void, as long as you can bring value, there's always going to be room for you to make money. So I think that collaboration is extremely important, especially in our community. It's very important for us to recognize that, we can't do everything, So there's 6 billion people on this planet. There's plenty of people to meet, plenty of relationships to build, plenty of people with skill sets and knowledge and experiences that we don't have. And, if you're unwilling to collaborate with other people, if you're unwilling to share a piece of the pie with other people or to learn with people, you're really limiting your growth potential.
I'm so glad you shined some light on that, because that's so important, right? You can't be selfish in business. That's key. You just can't be selfish. So thanks for, talking more about that, because a lot of people, I think, you get into the deal and it's different. So it's important that we know how to effectively do it, because if we don't,
right.
the relationships are not going to last.
Right.
So, and, I know you're a big believer on building those genuine relationships, right? And I know that's key in the media, as you stated. And so for that person that is afraid, it might be introvert, not saying they can't be successful in the media, but what are your views on that introverted person that wants to be in the media?
Hey, I just feel like you got to learn how to be more extroverted. I mean, naturally, I wouldn't say I'm an introvert, but I'm what you would refer to as an ambivert. So I'm not overly extroverted. I have my moments, but I have my moments where I'm extremely social and I love to get out. I do love being around people, but then I have moments where I like to be to myself. In growing up, I was always kind of a naturally reserved type of individual, but I knew what my goals were, and I knew that I did enjoy PR, and it was something that I wanted to be successful in. So I knew that that was something that I had to work on. So in the beginning stages of starting my business, I had to force myself out into environments where I had to speak before, a certain number of people, and I had to get out there and network and build relationships, because that was the only way that I was going to succeed. If you don't, relationships are the most valuable form of currency. It's more important than money. When you have relationships, even when times get tough, if you have relationships you can lean on, you'll eventually get back up on your feet. So I knew that the best shot at me growing my business and being able to properly serve my clients, I had to have these relationships, because, again, I can't do my job if I can't connect my clients, if I can't secure coverage, because I don't know different media personnel at the radio stations, the TV stations, the newspapers, the magazines, the blogs. You have to know people in those industries. You have to get out there. They have to see your face. You have to touch people. So it's absolutely necessary. So I would just say focus on taking yourself outside of your comfort zone. You can't stay comfortable.
I love that. Embrace being uncomfortable to our listeners who are introverted that wanting to grow in the media industry. So I know you've built, multiple tables for yourself, Ivan, because I follow you and you're doing some great things. So I know you've built multiple tables. So how did you create your seat at the table?
I created my seat at the table by getting fed up. Sometimes you got to get fed up in order to really make the moves that you need to in your life and to create your seat at the table. I was at a period in my life several years ago where I just wasn't happy with where I was. I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was doing what I wanted to do. I didn't feel like I was living and walking in my purpose. I knew I had talent. I knew I had a gift, but I didn't feel like I was sharing it with the world. So, I really just took that time to just, again, study. I studied, great speakers, public speakers, great business people, and, that I admired. I read about them. I read a lot of books. And, I really just took that time to kind of be introspective and really assess myself, what I wanted, what I desired out of life. And, I just painted that picture for myself, and I decided that I was going to, just put my head down and I was going to go for it. So the way I created my seat at the table is just really just, creating that vision. And then just, what I wanted my life to be like. And then I had to put the pieces together. What is that going to take? So clearly that's going to require me changing my circle, being around positive and productive, success-minded individuals, many people who are more successful than me. So I had to change my circle, because you're only as valuable as the people that you hang around. You are who you hang around. So, I changed my circle. I changed the information that I was consuming, and I really worked on developing a positive success mindset. So, those were the first stages. And then, of course, just building those relationships, networking, studying, and just really putting in the work. And I was able to create my own company. I knew I could do it, and I just made the decision to do it.
I loved it. I just love everything that you shared about that. Changing your circle, right? A lot of people don't want to do that, but you have to in order to elevate, right? That's going to require.
Yeah, because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. And, our bodies are designed to protect us from the things that are uncomfortable. So it's literally something that you have to make yourself do. If you don't force yourself out of it, you're always going to stay in your comfort zone. So, I had to put myself in uncomfortable situations in order to change. And then you recognize it's not as bad as you thought it was when you actually do it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So on your journey, failure is part of the process, and we have to learn to embrace that process.
Right.
So what did failure teach you on your journey?
Failure taught me a lot. It taught me, when you fail, it's really just a lesson. So when you don't do something right, you get a chance to go back and see, what did I do wrong and how can I correct it the next time? Failure taught me that I was resilient, because once I failed and I tried again, I was able to make it through. And lots of times we give up when times get hard, or when we fail, we get discouraged. We allow, people in our ears, who are projecting their fears and their doubts onto us. It can really be difficult. But, by failing and by getting back up and doing it again, I really recognized, one, how strong I was, and, what I was capable of doing.
I love that. It's a lesson. And I think that's so important that we're careful about who we listen to, right? And I think a lot of people, miss their dream or they're, don't want to step out or get out their comfort zone because of who they're listening to. So I'm glad you spoke on that.
All right. It can come from anybody, family, friends, and they might not always mean it. Sometimes they really do feel that they're looking out for your best interest, but, it can be dangerous sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So what did success teach you? Success just taught me that I can do what I put my mind to. I think that we all, like I said, we all have a gift. I don't think any of us are here merely to exist. We all have something that we can be extraordinary at, if we just go for it. And success really told me that, I have a lot of potential, and that it also showed me that, I have something to contribute to the world where I can, help other people to also be successful. So, it's a good question. Usually you hear what the failure teach you, but with the success teach you don't always hear that question. Yes, you're very successful, so I just want to commend you for all the great things that you're doing, okay? The stuff that you're opening, the doors that you're opening, so super congratulations on all your success. And I know we're in fourth quarter, and we're almost in December, a couple of days away, and I know you're going to finish the fourth quarter strong, so what can we expect? Oh, yes, that's my goal. What you can expect from me, I'm actually, I've always wanted to write a book, and so in 2020, I'm going to have my first book, so I'm very happy about that. I've already started writing it. I'm several chapters in, so I'm very excited about that. I'm definitely going to be doing more coaching and more speaking engagements, empowerment conferences and entrepreneur conferences, conferences around PR and marketing and strategic communication. So that's also what I plan on doing. And then really just, I have some dynamic clients that I'm really looking to take to the next level. So definitely looking forward to that as well. Well, super congratulations on your book in advance and all the great things that I know you get ready to do. Thank you. And how does it feel being on the other side of the table? Because I know you're used to, putting people on shows and putting people on media outlets. So how does it feel when people are interviewing you? Yeah, it's still something I got to get used to, I usually, set my clients up and I play the background so they can shine, but so it's interesting, but I do enjoy sharing aspects of my story, and I'm grateful that, you reached out to hear some of mine. You are welcome. Like I said, you're doing some amazing stuff. So how can listeners support and connect with you on all social media outlets? Yeah, absolutely. So on Instagram, you can reach me at Ivan the Great. That's IVANTH, the number 3, great. But if you just type in Ivan the Great, I'll come up. Intrigue Media Group on Instagram. You can also reach me at Ivan Thomas and Intrigue Media Group on Facebook. So definitely connect with Ivan. He is somebody to know, somebody to connect with. If you're looking to, get your brand represented, if you're looking for a publicist, definitely reach out to him. So definitely connect with him. And you had to say something, Ivan? No, I was saying please do. Please reach out. Yes, definitely. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule to come to the table tonight. This has been a very powerful interview, and I can't wait to invite you back. Thank you. I look forward to being back. So, again, thanks for inviting me. I look forward to talking to you in the very near future. Best wishes to you and all of your endeavors, and I hope that you have an extraordinary holiday. You too. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great one. Bye-bye. You too. So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to Author Kimberly McLemore, my intern Sarah from Tennessee State University, and my intern Vontaria from Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.